You have to show your clients that, but you have to make a decision. So what you're saying is just make a decision.
You have to make the decision.
Instead of sitting in the overthinking. And
right. You have to pull the trigger.
Yes. And then think about it afterwards.
And then, and then if you have to backtrack and then, like I said, go to battle with her later, and it turned out, after I did that, because again, you got to do what's best for the client at that point. Otherwise, the business is going to fail. Or at least it's going to take a hit for a little while. And at the very beginning of a brand new business, you don't want to be taking hits, especially when you're ramping up and things are going really well. So you bite it, you put in the new air conditioning unit, and then I go back and kind of fine-tooth comb with the lease, and sure enough, there's a couple lease points in there that it says basically I can amortize the payments over a 12-year period. Okay, well now we got something. She didn't tell me that part though. So again, it's I guess what this comes back to is problem solving. You've got to do what's best for the client in the moment, because otherwise the client, if one person's not happy, they're going to tell 9 people, and all of a sudden you got those 9 people telling 9 more people. Next thing you know, you got 50, 60 people talking about, yeah, Pulse doesn't have air conditioning, let's not go there anymore. Ooh, can't let that happen. So you gotta make a decision, you gotta take care of the problem, and then you can move forward from there.
Yeah, that's a great leader. That's what a leader does.
You have to.
Yeah, that's excellent advice. What about weight? Let's shift to losing weight.
Yeah.
Because we don't have that much time here. I want to get everything in.
Let's do it.
So that's great business advice. So now, and great leadership advice. So weight. So many people fluctuate. That 10 pounds or those 20 pounds. Sometimes I just went away for 3 months because I moved to Spain. Here for a short time going back. But in that 3 months, one of my best friends put on 30 pounds. Like, what?
Yeah.
What? Because he was just working out, eating well, and just took 6 months to get in tip-top shape. Then what happened?
It's terrifying, right?
30 pounds.
Yeah.
30, not 5, not 30.
30.
I'm like, 30, that took a lot of effort. How do you do?
So it's a lot of effort and also non-effort, but yes.
A lot of effort to put on 30 pounds. It's like,
the body just doesn't add 30 pounds.
Really
yeah.
not work, not move, you know? And he just said, I worked hard at it. You know, my wife bakes a lot, and I ate at least a pie a day and half of a cake, and I stayed home more and was with the kids at their events.
Without the 30 pounds, that sounds phenomenal.
Yeah.
Kind of like that lifestyle, except for the 30 pounds part.
Like, wow, okay.
The biggest thing with weight is consistency.
Okay.
And what probably happened is when this person got off track or started traveling and went to Spain for 2 months or whatever.
Oh no, that was me.
You went to Spain.
He was
here.
He just finished his thing. So I don't need the trainer anymore, and I don't need this particular diet anymore. I reached my goal. Then he went back to
what he was doing before.
Not intentionally, just nerves. He said he's been nervous. He he had a financial hit, and he got figuring out things. So comfort food.
How long was he on the diet for, do you know?
About 6 months.
Okay, there you go. So he was probably fairly well regimented for about 6 months, focused in on a goal of what he wanted to do, and he was doing it. And then he got off track.
He reached his goal.
He reached his goal.
Said, no, I could stop. I could, maintain.
You can't stop.
Let's maintain.
Okay, here's number one. I tell people this all the time. Temporary changes equal temporary results. So I hate the idea of a quote-unquote diet, because a diet typically means, in the layman's terms, a diet kind of means like, okay, well, I'm going to do something for a week, or I'm going to do something for 2 weeks, or 6 months in this case.
I have this event, let me work out, let me look good, and now, that's done.
Right.
Temporary
changes, you'll get the temporary results from those changes, but what happens when you just go back to what you were doing before? Your body's going to go back to doing what it did before, because that's where it's comfortable. So there's a difference between doing a diet and a lifestyle change. Now, you can also do a combination of both, where a diet, and this is the way it should work, in my personal belief, a diet, quote unquote, again, I don't like the word, but a diet should lead into a lifestyle change. So if you're doing something for a temporary period of time, if you're thinking, okay, it's time. I've got my 20-year reunion in 2 months, I need to make some changes. Okay, so maybe you hit it hard. You got to do it in a healthy way, and we can talk about that in a minute too, but maybe you hit it hard and you go a little bit extreme for those 2 months. You really nail it, you drop the 20 pounds. You can't go back to what you were doing before, because that's why you became 20 pounds overweight in the first place. You make modifications. You have to find a middle ground between what you were doing before and what that diet did for your body.
But how do you stick to it when you're in the moment of, I'm stressed and all the kids are driving me crazy and I just lost my job, and there's a delicious churro with chocolate to dip it in.
Churros, what you came up with?
It was Spain. That's the big thing.
Oh, yeah,
is
okay, all right,
churros
fair
dipped
enough.
in thick chocolate.
Fair
I'm
enough,
like,
sure.
what? Are you people nuts? It's like people eat that every day for like breakfast. It's like every table. I'm like, I can't do that. Where's my green juice? And
Yeah.
finally, I felt, when in Rome. So
Yeah, of course.
I did that a couple of times. But yeah, it's insane. But this is what people do every day. So that's what he said. He said just the overwhelmed. He's got 3 kids. He's got a wife that bakes a lot and stress. He lost money, and he's just thinking and eating.
There's one word for it.
What?
Balance. The one word is balance. It doesn't mean you can't ever eat that stuff again, but you can't eat that